generations. And now, the power of two restores the one.
We got a bidet! Hey everybody, and welcome back for another Game Nights with Dyad. Today we're talking about Racco. This is a classic game. As you can see from the box, we have the Vintage Edition. This is a game for 2 to 4 players, and it can go from anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes. We are going to go ahead and explain to you how to play the game. So let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so there's not much to assembly for this game here. We just have the trays, and some of the renditions of the game have a tray that looks kind of like this, and that is for to hold the deck and then to put your discards. Ours did not come with that, so we will not be showing it, but just be aware you could get an edition like that. The object of the game is to be the first player to replace cards in your rack by drawing cards from the pile whose numbers read in any numerical progression from low to high. So you want from your lowest card to be down here all the way up to your highest number up here, going in order. Our setup is every player is going to get one of these trays, and then we're going to use Racco cards that are numbered from 1 to 60 if we have 4 players. We're going to use 1 to 50 if we have 3 players, and then 1 to 40 if you have 2 players. That is the official rules of playing Racco. It's kind of up to you whether you want to use all the cards or go by that rule itself. We actually go by house rules and use all the cards just to have a variety, but it's up to you. The racks. So each player is going to use one of these racks. The numbers are appearing on the racks are 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way up to 50. These are used for scoring, so don't worry about that during the game itself. I sometimes use that as a reference, like maybe I should have roughly somewhere between 5 and 10 here, somewhere in the 30s here. It's all up to you, but just remember this is just a scoring reference. It is not you have to have these values for those cards. Dealing, so we need to cut for the deal, so we're trying to determine who's going to be the dealer, and each player is going to cut the deck and have a card, and the low card deals first. The dealer will shuffle the cards and deal out 10 cards to each of the players. When you get your cards, you have to go from the top slot and then all the way down. So if you have your 10 cards, you have to start at the top and then head towards the bottom. Again, a lot of house rules. Sometimes people don't care either way, but the official rules is going from the top down. Alright, now we get to move on to how to play. The undealt portion of the cards, right here, is the stockpile. It is placed face down in the center of the table. The top card is then laid face up, right here, and that is called the discard pile. Players take turns beginning to the left of the dealer. A player must take one card, either the top card from the stockpile or the top card of the discard pile. If you take the top discard, you must exchange it for one from your rack. So if you want the number 11 here and you wanted to switch it with a value here, so let's say we're taking the 11 and we are switching it with this card here. We would put the 11 in there and then take this card and now put that in the discard. If you instead decide to take the top card from the stockpile, you have to exchange this card with one in your rack. So if you wanted to exchange it with this one here, you'd have to put it in there and put it in the exact spot of the one you took, and then discard that card. I do want to re-emphasize that whenever you take cards, whether it's from the stockpile or the discard pile, you have to exchange it with one in your rack, and you have to put it in the exact same spot of the card that you are taking out. That is very important. Winning a round. A round ends when one player goes Racco. And how do you get Racco? Well, it's when you have the bottom number going in sequential order all the way up to your top card. That is considered a Racco. An example of a Racco would look like this, where all the cards from bottom to top are in sequential order. Lastly, we need to talk about scoring and winning the game. So, the player who goes Racco scores 75 points, 5 for each of the 10 cards in their rack, and 25 points for going Racco. So it's like a bonus 25 points. The other players score 5 points for the cards in their rack in low to high sequence. So if you have a card starting down here and it goes up to here in sequence, well then you get that many points. So with this example I mentioned coming up to here, you would get 25 points. The first player to score a total of 500 points or more wins the game. So as you play rounds of Racco and you're doing your scoring, the first one to 500 points total wins. Now we have some special conditions. If you have 2 players playing, there is a special rule where a player may not go Racco for the 75 points unless they have a run of at least 3 cards. What is a run? A run is 3 sequential numbers in a row. So like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have to have at least a 3-card run to be a winner in a 2-player game. There's also a partners version of Racco. So 4 people may play as partners, 2 against 2. The scores of the 2 partners are added together after each round. The pair scoring 500 points wins the game. Lastly, we'll talk about bonus Racco. The object of bonus Racco is for a player to score 50 to 400 extra bonus points by including a sequence or runs of 3 to 6 cards in their rack before going Racco. All the rules of regular Racco are used. This game is more of a challenge as a player must decide to go Racco with a score of only 75 or wait to improve their rack for a bonus score. The bonus is scored only by the player who goes Racco, their opponents receiving only 5 points for each of the cards in their racks in low to high order. So if you have a Racco, you can get the bonus points for having runs. If you are not the player to call Racco, you do not get your bonus points. The bonuses scored for runs are as follows. If you have a 3-card run, you get 75 points plus a bonus of 50 points, which is a total of 125 points. 4-card run is the 75 points plus 100 extra points. 5-card run is 75 points plus a bonus 200 points. And 6 or more card run is 75 points plus 400 points. As a side note though, if the player that goes Racco has 2 or more separate runs in their rack, the player only receives a bonus for only 1 of those runs, and it's the longest one. So if you have a run of 3 and a run of 4, well, you get the points for the run of 4. You don't get 2 separate sections of bonus points. Alright, so that's how you play the classic game of Racco. Hopefully all of you can now enjoy this game just as much as we have. I really enjoy just the anticipation of getting like really close to winning and then hopefully beating everybody else. If you enjoy this type of video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We are doing these how to play type videos every first Friday of the month, so check back. And we also might have a few more sprinkled in throughout, so I look forward to those. Drops a like if you like the video, and drops a comment letting us know about some of your favorite memories with Racco. And then, as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.